Welcome everyone to our next installment of our One Albuquerque Awards and our Volunteer of the Month Award program. This has been a wonderful tradition now that we've been doing even through COVID for several years, and it's all about just taking a moment to pause and recognize folks in our community who are doing wonderful things and really demonstrating that One Albuquerque spirit. And for today we have 3 examples and across sort of different categories, which we love to showcase all the different ways in which people can help out in our community. Sometimes they're city employees, sometimes they're not, and we have a good mix here with us today. So I want to begin with Officer Eric Montoya. So we'll start with one of our law enforcement professionals. And Officer Montoya, he has been part of Team 10 in the Foothills Area Command. We wanted to highlight the work that he's doing in part because of our initiatives up at the legislative session. So I know a lot of folks have heard us talk a lot about outstanding warrants. And we also wanted to acknowledge the work that our officers do each and every day on this issue. And so Officer Montoya is a great example of this. And he's done a whole lot of work beyond sort of the standard, whether it's just everyday policing and taking calls and so forth as part of Team 10, which is quickly growing a very good reputation in the department. And so the 27 felony arrests, clearing 36 felony warrants, this is what we need more of in our city. And we know that we need help to do it because we don't have enough Officer Montoyas in the department. That's why we're asking the legislature to help us fund overtime for this. And so we really appreciate his willingness to step up. And I would just say too that, serving warrants can be very challenging, right? We know sometimes there's situations where these can become situations of use of force, but our officers do a wonderful job in general most of the time of trying to prevent that. So I also want to acknowledge that doing this in a way that honors the criminal justice system and respects justice and accountability in our community, but also in a compassionate way where it's sort of like, hey, come on in, there's a warrant for your arrest, and let's do this without it getting complicated. And Officer Montoya has done a wonderful job at that as well. So officer, come on up. You got it. Now, what do you want? Well, let me get you at least the right certificate. There you go. That's for you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Keep it up out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. All right. Thank you so much, officer. And as so many of our officers are, they like to do their job and go back to work. So he's not going to share comments with us today, but we appreciate his service. Now, let's change gears a little bit to the sort of civilian side. We have lots of folks from our Senior Affairs Department here and AmeriCorps Senior Companions Program. And this is a wonderful program that's been around for a long time, I think about 14 years in the city. And it is also active in many of our senior centers. And today we're honoring Frank Gonzalez, who's here with us. And Frank is one of the leaders of the Share Your Care program at Bear Canyon. And for folks who don't know, our senior centers all have their own kind of unique culture, which is awesome. And Bear Canyon's one of them. I love visiting up there. And it's also where you hear the most languages spoken. I mean, there's like the Swedish club and, there's all sorts of things. But it's also home to the Share Your Care program. And we know that Frank has done an amazing job, everything from jumping in to help start cars, taking others shopping, providing driving to doctor's appointments, or even taking people out for a nice meal. And it's a wonderful way. We know that loneliness, unfortunately, can be part of growing older in our community. And the Share Your Care program is a wonderful way in which AmeriCorps and the Senior Companion efforts really try and make sure that people don't feel alone. And also that they can get some help sometimes when they need it in ways that if you don't have family in town and so forth, you have somebody to turn to in your time of need. So Frank, your selflessness is inspiring and we're grateful for it. And I know each and every person you work with is too. Congratulations. Come on up. Yeah, we've got a certificate for you here. There you go. And if you want to share a few words about the program.
Yes.
All right. Come on up. Yeah.
Okay, this represents the people that have helped me all through my life. And here with me today is Nancy, who nominated me, my neighbor. And could you come up here?
Come on up, Nancy.
Nancy. She's a minister, and she's worked in healthcare and medical field. And this is my brother-in-law and sister, my sister and brother-in-law, Ron Lopez, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, and he's worked with the Department of Justice, U.S. Department of Justice. He retired from that. And this is Tristan, my supervisor at the Senior Companion Program. Could you come up? Yeah. Yeah, and I'd just like to say, give you a little story. Back in the 70s, I used to have a veteran friend downtown, and I used to go. We used to visit all the time over there. And one time he was talking to me, and a street person came up and asked for money, and so I gave him some. And my friend said, next time you give him money, when you give him money, he said, talk to him. And then I had a stepfather, and he was a veteran too, World War II veteran too. And he told me one day, people are good, they just don't know it.
Well put.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Frank, and also, of course, the folks from the Companions Program, and good to see family here too, so we appreciate that. We want to wrap things up with our third honoree today, and she works at a place I think we're all familiar with as part of the Albuquerque community. You know, we got two big malls, Cottonwood and Coronado. And as a kid who, you know, like everyone my age, like grew up at Coronado, Macy's is, of course, the store a lot of us go to. But I think what a lot of people don't know is that Macy's has a wonderful program that helps deal with hunger in our community, and it's the Bag Hunger Campaign. And today we're honoring Michelle Wilmoth. Did I get the name right? Yes. Michelle Wilmoth. She is the one who really spends her time as sort of a corporate steward for the company in terms of what it can do for Albuquerque, but also she volunteers all over the city of Albuquerque. So we're going to talk about both of her efforts. And so one is that Bag Hunger campaign that we talked about through Macy's, but also she coordinates on-site projects like the food drive at St. Felix Pantry, which is out in Rio Rancho. I've actually been to that one. It's a wonderful program. And the Holiday YDI Head Start Gift Giving Project. This is another one, if you're unfamiliar. YDI takes care of thousands of kids in our community, and they're typically kids in need who, you know, don't always receive a gift during the holiday, and so a very special program. And she also volunteers at Roadrunner Food Bank. She also volunteers at Casa Esperanza and also at Locker 505. So I don't know how you have time to do anything else. But I know Albuquerque's grateful for all that you do, and what a wonderful role model you are for volunteering in our community. And so we very much appreciate your commitment and also the what you demonstrate for those who do want to get involved. And so if you want to get involved in any of those different areas, wonderful example of someone who's helping in a lot of different ways. So thank you for your generosity. Come on up and congratulations. For you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You want to say a few words?
Well, the big
Go ahead.
boss
There's a stool there.
I don't know what to say, but I'm so grateful and thankful because, you know, Macy's is not only a retail company, okay, we are also, involved and supporting all these different kind of charitable organization. But my big boss is here, the store manager is here to tell me or tell you about Macy's. Come on, Brian.
Sure. Yeah, come on up.
Thanks for having us. Macy's is very involved in giving back to the community, and I've actually been in Albuquerque for the last 2.5 years. I moved here from Dallas-Fort Worth area where I was with Macy's, but Macy's is really about giving back to the community. You know, Roadrunner Food Bank, Locker 505 right across the street. We had a corporate relationship that we established this year with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and actually last night I was at South Valley Academy with my little, because I'm his big, and he'll be going to college next year, and we basically work. It's a very, very cool program, and we'll work with them as a corporate partner going forward as well. But thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I forgot we have a couple of one Albuquerque pins too for our award winners, so I'll get you guys some. But we are going to wrap up for today, but again, I just want to thank you all for your dedication to our city. And I think what a wonderful 3 different examples of that one Albuquerque spirit and dedication to a special community that we all call home. And we always like to close too by letting folks know that you can nominate others, and it's easy to nominate award winners, and so check out, just Google One ABQ Award or Volunteer of the Month, and you can nominate wonderful people in our community doing amazing things. So with that, congratulations, thanks so much. All right, we'll see you next time.